Hello everyone, welcome to Punters Inside Run. I'm Simon O'Donnell. Matty Campbell, not in the chair this week, but he'll be back next week. He's having a bit of a spell. He needed a bit of a rest. But I'll tell you, the man that doesn't need a rest, he's come up with winner week after week, is Mick Sharkie, who joins me as per usual. Mick, welcome.
Hello Simon, nice to be with you as we look towards racing going into the provincial areas.
Which I think suits you down to the ground.
Well, suits both of us. You're a man that owns land. You're a lord.
I'm a man
lord
of
the
country.
Yeah, you are. You are probably more so than me, to be fair. But we're just discussing cattle prices amongst other things. Might have to dabble in that sort of area pretty soon.
Let's hope we can make a little more out of backing a winner as we leave the city and go to the country for the Mornington Cup. Alex Donnelly, he'll be joining us to talk Hawkesbury because Sydney goes that way as well, heading from the city to the bush. But we'll also, if we get the numbers right, we'll have a go at the quaddie a little later on. There's been some controversy about where our numbers have ended up in the last few weeks, but I'm sure we'll get them right this week. But first up, the Mornington Cup, 2,400 metres, run over the same distance, of course, as the famous Caulfield Cup, and it's a golden ticket. Mick, you win this one, you go straight into the Caulfield Cup.
You do, Simon. Look, I think it's a really good race this year. There's plenty of depth to the Mornington Cup this year. You look through the field and you look at the odds. The Adelaide Cup winner, last start Adelaide Cup winner, albeit at 20 to 1, he's the rank outsider in this race. An Adelaide Cup winner.
It's a good field, isn't it?
It's a very even field. You know, horses coming down from New South Wales for it, some local horses in good form. It's a terrific race. I think there's some value in this race too.
You talk of form, he's a shocker. You know, a wonderful run at in the Queen Elizabeth last start. Non-conformist, belted them up over 1,600 first up. I think then has an excuse to run a little flatly in the Australian Cup because he ran so well fresh. I expect him to bounce back in the Mornington Cup.
I expect he will as well. I think he's a shocker from the barrier. He's going to have to do some work at some point of the race. I think they go back and ride him conservatively, which means he's going to stand those up the front, a fair old head start. Fine weather forecast for the rest of the week leading into Mornington Cup Day. Maybe it favours those horses up near the speed. I think with an inside gate, non-conformist, third up into this race, Graham Begg is going so well at the moment.
Is he what?
I think this horse is absolutely cherry ripe to win this race. I think he'll win it. You know what? I think he'll put a little margin on him.
Okay.
Yeah, very confident.
Non-conformist, a little margin, then who?
Gear Up's an interesting horse coming down for Annabel Neesham. Couple of runs up in Sydney for this import. He's got some good form over 2,400 metres in Ireland and the UK. Talented horse. I think back on top of the ground will suit Gear Up. He's in next best, and then he's a shocker in for third. I think he's going really well. It's just that barrier in the map for me might make things a little bit tricky. But he'll run a good race. 2,400
possibly a little challenge there as well. Look, I love the big form coming into a race like this. He's stepping down in class from the Queen Elizabeth to the Mornington Cup. So I'll put he's a shocker on top. I expect non-conformance to come back into the race after a flat run in the Australian Cup. I think he'll bounce back in this. And Sword's drawn. He's just an honest son of a gun who keeps saying, hey, you do something wrong, I'll be able to beat you. And I expect the same thing from him on Saturday.
You could put a horse like Right You Are in the same boat.
Correct.
They're both going so well, really consistent. And, yeah, if others have an off day, they'll be there to pounce.
OK, from the stayers to the sprinters, the Hariba, the famous Hariba Stakes there at Mornington. Again, a really good field here. Jigsaw seems to be the one everyone wants.
Well, if it's not Jigsaw, you're really looking at restricted sort of handicap horses, aren't you? That would probably flirt with listed grade at their best, whereas Jigsaw's coming out of a run in the William Reid Group 1. Look, he just got going in that race. He went way too quickly. Probably wasn't the fault of Daniel Moore. That's the way the horse likes to be ridden, is to go forward and be up on speed. He just got in control and got going a bit quick. I think if there's anything left in him, fifth run into this race, he'll beat them. Curran is probably the danger. He's the one that's early in his preparation, third up into this race. Really good win last time, and She's All Class is a good filly on her day.
Yeah, I'm around you. Jigsaw, I think, again, if it steps up and still got some legs there, it can win the Ariba. She's All Class, same reasons you say. I think in with an enormous show. And Sessions Road, I just have a feeling some nice double-figure odds might give us a little bit of value in the Ariba. Your value and best bet for the day at Mornington?
Best bet is non-conformist, race 8, number 3 non-conformist for me. I think he'll go and win the Mornington Cup and find his way in the Caulfield Cup in the spring. Best value, race 5, number 5, Al Redont. The stallion Redont doesn't do a hell of a lot, but he can find a nice horse. This horse has got a really good turn of foot, couple of trials has been very good for this, including one behind Giga Kick, where he wasn't far off.
My values in the Mornington Cup similar to yourself, but I'm going with swords drawn, double figure odds, and I think he's the one outside of the top two in. He's a shocker and non-conformist and can win the race. And our best bet, race 3, number 11, Squad. The Hawkses have had a horrible autumn. I think they just might, as we look towards getting towards winter, I think they just might be about to start to fire some bullets.
And 2 for 2 this prep squad, so he's flying.
Yeah, well, let's hope we all fly at Mornington on Saturday, the Mornington Cup and the Hariba. Time to go up the highway from Sydney. We've got Hawkesbury coming up next.
If you're in love with racing, then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.
Yeah, back now to have a look at Hawkesbury, and a big welcome to Alex Donnelly from punters.com.au. Alex, the first time we've worked together, you told me before the show that Hawkesbury was north of Sydney. It's basically direct west. Thanks for that.
Yeah, really doing my geography well, having lived in Sydney for 16 years. It shows how often I've actually been out there. I think I've been there once, so...
And you won a Hawkesbury Cup.
Yes, my old man with quick flick. I think it might have been 1996 or 97. He won the Hawkesbury Gold Cup. Paul Ambrosoli called it. I just remember listening to it a bunch of times as a child.
What year were you born?
1991.
I was going to say, I thought it might have been a celebration.
Did you say you were
Big
born in
celebration.
1991?
Yeah.
Oh, I retired. Oh, that's shocking. Let's find out the winner of the Hawkesbury Cup, shall we, if we can. Over the 1,600 metres, Group 3 level. It's sort of a bit of a comeback down to earth, I reckon, this
big
race.
time.
Yeah, it is.
With a
From
fun.
where we've been.
Wow.
Giga kicking the all age into floating artist on the way back from the Melbourne Cup.
If I said to you, floating artist has started 4 times over a mile and won 3 of them, would you believe me?
Probably, yeah. Given the way he put that picket fence together before the 2021 Cup, he sort of just won everything bar the Coonji.
He's an interesting horse here. Second up off a decent break. Great first up run, but you often see that second up, like a game of footy, you play your first game back, feel great. Week 2, you're sore as a boil and you don't go too well.
And that date, Bendigo, is also a little weird as well, so I don't know sort of how to trust the form coming out of it. Can definitely win, but as favourite, I don't want to be with him.
Well, let's have a look at what you like.
Yeah, pretty keen on new mandate here. James McDonald goes on. Really good form from Europe, and the 5 Diamonds form. He ran in that 1,800 metre race at Rose Hill in the spring. It's been a fantastic form race. There's been winners everywhere out of it. First up was in the Doncaster Prelude. He just blew out late. Barry trial since, and J-Mac jumped on the trial, gave him a little squeeze late, found the line well. And I love when McDonald sort of sticks with these horses after the trials because he can just, jump all over the place. 2 wins at the mile, and I know Shark loves these Europeans in their second prep in Australia.
Absolutely. I think he's got a great chance. I've got him in second peg, but yeah, certainly give him a good hope.
Yeah, for second, I've got Hopeful. Was runner-up in this race last year, funnily enough, which was the first start in Australia, and since then only had another 2 runs. Won the Lord Mayor's Cup and then was only beaten 4 lengths in the Q22. Good barrier trials leading in, moved well. This seems to be sort of a target again before following along the same prep and same decent odds. And I threw in Floating Artist for third. Just, I don't want it to win without me, but I don't want to be on it if that makes sense because he's too good not to have in. And he could just well go, yep, I'm going to start winning everything on the way up to the Hollandale.
Shark?
I've gone with Lord Ardmore. I don't know why. I just really didn't like anything in this race. This has got Jao Moreira on it from a good gate. He comes back down the handicap. I think that's a big key. He had 59.5 last time. He's got 54.5 this time. He was brave last time. Before that, in the Doncaster Prelude, he drew wide. He went back to last. He was actually okay through the line, and he finished on the heels of New Mandate, who I've got in for second. I've thrown Character number 15 in next best. This horse was running around in Toorak handicaps 12 months ago, and he wasn't going too badly. So I'm thinking he might be able to run a race at odds.
Okay, well, you're both off Floating Artists. I'm going to stick with Floating Artists on that form over a mile, and I understand what you're saying, but there's a touch of a lack of confidence here. My geography's gone, and so is probably my tipping ability. Lord Ardmore and Just Folk. I'd love to see Just Folk win, just for the trainer. There's a bit of a story about Just Folk, a young trainer trying to make his name.
Bit more runaround will help going as well as soft 5 this morning, but there's meant to be rain all the way leading up because, well, it's Sydney in autumn.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's not heavy 10 like we've been racing on for 6 months in Sydney. The Hawkesbury Guineas, interesting race in itself. I think there's one here, Hawaii 5. I just think actually it's a better horse than them.
Okay.
Well, it's in my numbers. I think it's just about ready to win, and it's whether it's sort of the horse on the way up as opposed to the horses like Cote and Fortune Teller, who have been out and whacking around for a bit?
Well, I haven't got either of them in. I've got Atmosphere on top. I thought the 2 runs this time in were really good. Rolled down in the South Pacific by Rosita, but form was really good last time in once it got onto dry decks. Got run down by Magic Time over the Flemington Carnival. A dry deck, hopefully not a heavy 10 is a tick here, and about $12, $13. Pretty happy to be on each way. I've got the Fortune Teller in for second. Off that slogging mile run back to 1400 with the top weight, bit of a risk. And Cote, good run in the Arrowfield. The Derby Munro one was even better, and on a dry deck up to 1400 suits.
Shark?
I got Cote on top. They were stuck. He jumped so well, they were stuck leading last time, and he had to do some work early. I like him better when he's ridden cold and allowed to finish off. I think they'll do that this time around. To beat the Fortune Teller, look, last night, group winner, that's a good standard for a race like this. And Hawaii 5-0, Simon, your top pick. I think she's in there with a super chance.
They're all around those same numbers, 7, 2 and 1 for me. Cote in second and the Fortune Teller in third. Okay, our value and best bets at Hawkesbury, Alex?
Best bet comes up in race number 5, number 2, Fire for Team Hawks. Way out of his grade last start, ran in the Lightning, but wasn't horrible there. Comes well back to a 78 here. 1100 metres, much more suitable. You go back through his form last time in. Started odds on against Chain of Lightning down the Flemington Straight. The trial since was fantastic, and his SP profile is awesome, and we're getting $4. Have to be on him at the price. For a value, coming up in the last, and with number 5, Wicklow, same colours as last week's value from Maddie. Should have gone close to winning first up. Second up gets Nash on board, 2 wins second up and a third from 3 starts. And after this, he's probably going to go to the Wagga Cup because Richard Peagam owns him and he loves winning a Wagga Cup.
It's a good form line, isn't it?
It's
a good long-range tip. My best is race 6, number 2, Malkovich. Gelded this time around. Fast horse, 2 trials. He's won them both really, really well. Hoping the big snip gets him back into winning form. And he's a nice price too. Value bet race 4, number 14, Demarque. Good first up run in Melbourne. Switches to Sydney. Gets up in trip.
Trust Larkspur run, 4th run in as your value bet at Hawkesbury, and I think Fire. It's going to be a good day for the Hawks as we head into winter. I think Fire can win for the Hawks, and that's race 5, number 2. That's it from Hawkesbury. When we come back, we've got Sharks all up, and we've also got the quaddie if we can add the numbers up correctly.
If you're in love with racing, then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.
Well, let the big calls begin. Matty's away, he'll be back next week, but Alex is stepping in for the same race multi. What have you got for us?
Yeah, we're going to Hawkesbury and looking at the Gold Rush, which is race number 6. And I don't have Sharkie's best bet in there, which is a bit of a worry, but we'll go with number 3, Andermatt, top 2. Solid in the Galaxy, a good trial since. It's about $2.70 the win. Number 10, A Very Fine Red, top 3. Really good fresh run, hitting the line well, up to 1100 metre suits. And second up last prep, did win the Alingi over 1100 at Caulfield. And we'll throw in number 5, Zethus in the top 4. 3 starts fresh for a win and 2 seconds. 2 wins over 1100, trialled really well. It's about $4 the place.
Oh, home.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Malkovich can still win and we can still get
Still
it.
trying to work out what a same race multi is, but that sounds like it makes sense
It
to
does,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to rewatch that when I get
livestock.
home.
Yeah.
Yep. Talking about making sense.
Well,
let's make some sense of your all up.
Straight at me, that's brave. All right, so 3-leg multi. We got 2 out of 3 last week, which we were devastated about. The $1.80 favourite let us down, Magic Time. We start at Mornington, race 4, number 7, Convener. Then we go to Hawkesbury, the horse that you two gentlemen like, race 5, number 2, Fire. And we come home, Mornington, race 8, number 3, Nonconformist. That little 3-legger, Simon.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
About $50.
Oof.
All right.
Yeah.
I spent
Bit of value.
$10 in my life.
Bit of value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might have a little dash at that.
Okay. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's hope we can go.
We're going to get 3. That's the problem. But yeah.
Not bad. But
Well, you know, exactly.
All right, what about the quaddie? Let's get to the quaddie now. Apparently there was a lot of controversy last week with the quaddie and the numbers and you guys adding up. But let's do our best.
We got it, but we lost.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's focus on the fact that we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, the numbers and, don't worry about that.
I agree. Again, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Strike
It's the sort of theme that's happening here. It's the way we roll. Okay, race 7 at Hawkesbury. The numbers initially here, 1, 2, 7 and 9. Any changes there?
I want to put in Atmosphere. I've got it on top in the Guineas, number 6.
Yeah, put atmosphere.
And anything out or we're just whacking out it in?
I think just add that in.
Okay, just add that in. So we're now 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. Yep. We've got 5 in the first. Okay, second leg, just the 1, 2 and 3, which is Princess Grace into Expat into Hawkesbury Run. Any additions, any subtractions?
I think you've covered it off there. The American mare up the top, I think she'll win.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, we'll go with it.
Okay, let's stay with those 3.
You're on point.
All right. Race 9, 3, 4 and 10 are the numbers that are sitting there at the minute.
I want New Mandate in, number 8.
I think you have to put New Mandate in.
Yeah.
I think you have to.
Okay, the 8's going in there.
Maybe
you
character.
happy with 3, 4 and 10 staying in?
Maybe character number 15 as well.
Character number 15.
You're just making the math a lot harder there.
Yeah.
So we've got 5 in
5
there.
now.
Gee whiz. I hope someone's doing the multiples here because I've got no hope. Once you get above 3, I'm history. Okay, last and final leg of the quaddie at Hawkesbury. Hawkesbury, we're heading to for our quaddie. 5, 7 and 12 are the 3 horses there. Any adding to that firstly?
No, I like that. I like that
you?
a lot. Yeah. I think you
Let's
nailed
just
it
cheer
with
home
Wicklow.
Wicklow.
I think Wicklow will be getting the job done.
Okay. No additions?
Happy with it?
Okay, we're just the 3. So we've got 5 by 3 by 5 by 3.
So
think
75.
225.
Yeah, that'll be it.
225. If you wanted half of that, how much is that?
Yeah, I'm not even going to try 112 and a half or
150.
something.
112. Well done.
Yeah.
It's all right. I can go halves. That's about as good as I
You're
can.
doing fantastically well.
This is why we didn't have to add something into the last. It would have been trouble.
Well, exactly.
So the quaddie last week, you got the quaddie last week, but what you invested, the return, it was just a bit of Wall Street on a down.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the figures.
I blame Matty Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I blame substantial.
Well, I also that.
Yeah.
I think actually Matty not being here this week was more management saying just have a bit of a cool off after your quaddie last week.
Well, he was going to the Bahamas, but I think he settled for Malakuta. So, did come off a bit.
Similar.
Yeah, well.
Is there any
Malakuta's
association between Malakuta and the Bahamas? Any other than water?
coconuts, I think.
Oh dear me, coconuts, that'll do. Gentlemen, I've had some fun today. Well
It's
done,
been good
the two
fun.
of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We've just got to find the winners now.
Yeah, we'll find the winners. Don't worry about that. Thanks to Sharkie and Alex. It made the day a lot of fun, and hopefully for you at home too. Make sure you subscribe below and follow us on the socials. I won't see you next week. Matty Campbell will. He'll be back in the hot seat.
If you're in love with racing, then you love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights, and content. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.